Greetings, everyone. Welcome to our first PACTS International Shielding Workshop, where we will be sharing a variety of shielding modalities from our panel, which consists of several members of our community who possess a wide range of methods and devices from which you can choose, things that may suit your skill and level of expertise. Tips that can make a critical difference for you until our help, which is on the way, finally arrives. First up is Deb K. from White Bear Lake, Minnesota. She is a former reserve deputy sheriff who is currently self-employed. She's going to be showing us a set of radar reflectors that she made herself that really work, that you can also purchase and make as well, along with several other shielding items that help keep her safe. Hi, Deb.
Hello, I'm here.
Okay, can you show us your radar reflectors and whatever
Sure.
else?
Okay, so these are my radar reflectors right here. They're called radar reflectors, but I always refer to them as the copper cone because they really work. And when I'm using them, when I'm getting attacked, I use the point and I go around my head and my face. My face is being attacked really bad, and you could see the red right here. You know that, and then they're making my neck look all puffy, and I go up and down my body with this thing, and then when I see an attack or I feel an attack, I point this part towards them, and I go like that, and wherever you feel the attack coming from, you go like this, and you'll be hitting a beam. I can hear the beam, so I just stop and I go like that, and eventually it's gone. But sometimes it takes a while. And Jack's told me the same thing happens to her. She described what I do exactly. So this is like 6 inches, you know, 6 inches long, and however you make them, but you have to make the triangle. This works. And I get these. They're pure copper. This is 20 gauge, and I get 6 sheets for $33. And I cut these diagonally, and they match up, you could see. I'll turn my camera around. See, you can see that it matches there. Okay, so then I have this big 12 by 12, and it has the blue plastic that you have to peel off. So you can actually make them any size you want. Don't make them small, make them big, 6 inches. But this one is 22 gauge. This is 18 gauge. I'm sorry. The smaller the number, the thicker it is. So, and then here's the tape that you get. You peel the back off, and that's how you tape. Whoops, sorry, I dropped it. This is the tape that you use on there to tape it with, so you can see where I taped it. Yeah. And then, like I said, this is the plastic that you peel off of it. When it comes, it has this blue filmy plastic. And then I use these to cut it. These are Bozzy tin snips, and they're 12-inch tin snips, and they work. I couldn't get the other ones to work because, I don't know, maybe they were too short and it hurt my hands. But I do have to use my weight on the thing to cut it. But you want to get them thick. And then I also make these boxes here with the tape. You can see one side is burned already. This box is not too old. But I put them on the floor to stop the scalar waves. My legs haven't vibrated since I've done this, and I move them around. But here's a box that has been on a part where they're always aiming weapons at me. And look at the burn marks. So you can imagine what this is doing to us. So this is evidence right here. And you can make them any sizes, like that size, this size. I just made this one, and that's a good one. And also, I've been using these strobe light flashlights. And if you have epilepsy, don't use them because they will make you have a seizure. And if you're looking at this now, look away. But I've been putting them all in my windows. You can see, at night, it's really lit up here. But I have to have them in my windows. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to sit here and do this. That's how bad it is. And I got them aimed different ways. I got them all over my house. I got 16 of these flashlights. And I use the quick charging batteries, the rechargeables, because you'll be going to the dollar store all the time and buying batteries if you don't do it. And then here's another thing too. This is a copper silver cloth. And I used to wear these on my head all the time. As a matter of fact, I still do. This one's big, but I cut it to wear on my head. And that works. And then I don't know if you see this light over here. This one right here. This light reflects on the ceiling, and it's kind of bright in here, so you can't see it. You cannot see what it does to the ceiling. But I'm telling you, that little light works. I can turn it different ways, and you can turn, there's a button on the back, so you can turn it to different settings.
Okay, where do you get your lights, Deb?
My flashlights, I get them on Amazon. I get everything on Amazon.
Okay.
And I can't find the name of these. I think, did I give you the name of these reflectors here? I think I did. I can't find them right now, though. I can't find that box. So,
I can get it for you, Deb. I can tell
Okay.
people.
Okay, cool.
Let me
Okay.
get it. It's called the Lux Lumen Car Roof Lights, USB
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yep.
Star Projector Night Light. I had a little list for you. LED lights, colors. Did you send Derek the link? I don't know if
Yes, I
how.
did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so that's called the Lux Lumen Car Roof Lights, USB Star Projector Night Light, adjustable interior car lights, portable car LED lights, 4 colors and 9 functional modes. So if
Yes.
you look all of those up, anyway, Derek's going to post the links, you guys. So
Yeah. If you have a cold air humidifier, that steam right there, the stuff that's coming out of that humidifier, boy, that helps a lot too. Because their lasers from their vehicles are coming that way, and I think it kind of blocks the lasers, or it redirects them or something. I don't know what it is. If I don't have that on, I can really feel it. So that's the end of my presentation on the shielding. And I think Derek is going to take questions at the end. Is that what you're going to do, Derek?
Yeah, after everyone has a chance to present then we'll take questions.
Okay. All right.
Okay, and I'll probably have the link by then.
Okay.
On the flashlights. Okay, so let's move on to our next presenter, Daniel Frankel. Daniel, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Let me show up so you can see me. Yeah, hi
Okay.
everyone.
Hi, Daniel.
Uh,
Thank you for being here. Daniel's a social worker, lives in New York City. He has
yeah,
a few items at
nice.
Cyber Shield. He has a Silent Night to show us, and Dave Case's CD, and a few other things.
Yeah. So thank you for having me, everyone. I appreciate being here and everything and seeing you all. I yeah, I do have something to show you. I guess I'll start with the Dave KCD. That'll be my first thing I'll show you guys. You hear the sound in the background right now, by the way. That's that sound that sounds like a clicking. That's the Silent Night. So yeah, let me just very quickly show you the Dave KCD and how I use it. So well, I guess I have a MP3 player here that I can show you. One second, sorry. I'm like need to find it. About it. I have this MP3 player right here. Let me show myself to you because I do that. This is what I use for the Dave KCD. It's lossless, meaning it can't be it's meant to hold up to, I guess, 32, kilohertz. Sorry, it's meant to hold up to songs that are, wave, or pretty much it has 32 kilohertz compression, which is really, really important. You need that for the song, in my opinion, because you don't want to lose, you don't want to lose data when you convert it. So lossless MP3 players are really valuable. The website I'm going to put in the chat is tinnitusv2k.com. And you can go there and kind of like check out um, you can go there to obviously get the CD and purchase it. I put it on the MP3 player, and it really, really, makes a difference. I pretty much have it on 24/7. I use a bone conductor and normal cost headphones. The bone conductor, this is Aftershocks. It's titanium and a little bit of, I think, two other materials. You kind of want to get this, in my opinion. It can really make a difference if you have the bone conductors and the headphones on. And yeah, it just helps a lot. So I use these two together all the time, pretty much with the Dave Case CD on. I usually just, don't worry about matching them or whatever. Just I do that, and that really helps. It helps you with a lot of things. It can kind of improve your vision and stuff. And then this is a radar reflector too. This is another one. It has a 90-degree angle right here, if you see right here. And it's about 4 inches. The size of it has to do with, I guess, what form of energy it's going to block. So because um, if you see right here, I need to show myself view again so I can see. Sorry. Um, so if you see right here, these two angles, the idea is that the signal bounces here and then goes here and then goes outward like that. So that's really important to remember, that you want the signal to be able to bounce. So if you see this meeting point right here is where the signal is going to bounce off. So you really want to be able to use that. That's crucial because, again, otherwise the signals are going to be redirected. So you want to try and have that on a radar reflector. Like Debs is another form of, I guess, reflection. So yeah, this kind of follows three rules. It's there's absorption, double absorption, and reflection are like three really important things for shielding. So you want to make sure that the material is naturally absorbent and reflective. So that's usually metals. Copper, aluminum, and stuff like that are probably gonna be your best bet. Or obviously silver. Silver is probably the top. Um, then there's like mu metal, which you probably have heard of before. That can help too. But yeah, you can try that. And other than that, I also have the Silent Night here. I'm gonna show it real quick. This is the Silent Night that I have on. the clicking noise you're hearing is the sound it makes. You can you can adjust it with a screwdriver, and it'll change the pulse. It really does help, especially like if things are bad, I will occasionally do this. It's probably not the safest thing to do, but it seems to help me feel better. I'll put it next to my head for like 2 or 3 minutes. Actually, I do the same thing with the radar reflector. I'll put it on my head for 5 minutes, which I don't want to do right now. But anyway, yeah, this can help a lot. It helps with, in my opinion, sounds related to the harassment or whatever you want to call it. It it seems to calm you down and make you feel better, and it does have a little bit of a lasting effect. Like I don't think the sounds have ever been as loud for me after I got it. It's also may depend on what they're using. Like there's lasers can be used to cause, V2K. Uh, then there's probably other forms of energy like RF, scalar. There's probably they could probably even use electricity from your walls or to also cause you to hear things. Unfortunately, anything that heterodynes. So uh, the good thing about this device is it seems to cause a very powerful electrical field, which they'd have to match it, and I've seen them do pretty crazy things. Like I've gotten like microwave and higher readings on some of the devices that I own, but this seems to help. It has like a roughly a 2000 EF measure on the um on whatever device I use with it, and yeah, it really makes a difference. Um, and that's one thing. I also am a big user of the Cyber Shield. Jax is going to talk about it more in detail, but I did create a few modes on it that you can use if you decide to buy it. It's worth the investment. It's about
Yeah, hey Daniel, before you talk about the Cyber Shield, can you tell us how you got the Silent Night, where people can get
oh
that?
yeah, the Silent Night is on I think what is it, targetsourcellc.com I think, or sorry, no, it's I'll post the website, but yeah, you go online. The owner is Armando created the Silent Night. And yeah, there's a website for it that I'll post in the chat in a second. But yeah, uh you just kind of you can just purchase it on it. Oh yeah, it is targetsourcellc.com. You can just go online and get it from targetsourcellc.com to purchase it, and it's very helpful. Again, Armando will answer your calls normally, and you obviously have once you do pay for it and get it, it really does make a difference. I do think you have to see how you feel afterwards, but I would say for quite a few people, it seems to help. And then there's a Cyber Shield, which you can find info on the Cyber Shield at cybershieldinfo.com, right, Jax? So
Cybershieldinfo.com. Yeah.
yeah. So you can go on cybershieldinfo.com to purchase it. And that also is a very powerful tool. It's pretty much heterodyne that sends out it has 9 antennas, but normally between 4 and 5 heterodynes. The signals clash in the air, and it seems to help with pretty much nerve symptoms, physical symptoms, can help with voices, problems with your body, lots of issues. So it's very useful to have. And it really does make a difference. So I recommend the Cyber Shield if you're able to purchase it. I think it's kind of confusing. Oftentimes it's said that it works for a large amount of people. Occasionally it won't work for one or two, but it's also worth noting that I found evidence that it works in people who don't think it's not working anyway. So it's really worth trying or just trying for a while you know before you have any sort of change towards it. But yeah, it's a very powerful healing device and also shielding device. I also have my little TENS unit here that I'm getting made. I'm getting it kind of created in Sri Lanka. It's just a TENS unit here that it has like a power device here that turns it on. I don't know why it's not turning on right now, but and a knob right here that you turn to change the voltage. And it has a special frequency on it that sends this mathematical pulse into your through your body, I guess, into your head, and it can make you feel a lot better. So it's something that I'm getting developed. I'll have it on sale soon, and it'll just be this kind of like new device that helps heal or reset the brain through electricity. So that's pretty much the main gist of the stuff that I have to share. And I will post my information in the chat for you guys. I do counseling as well if you ever need to talk, and that's something that I obviously don't mind doing for any of you who want it. But yeah, I'll post my info in the chat. You can call me if you need help or whatever. I do free sessions the first time always, and then afterwards you know, afterwards I will I'll charge whatever rate you think is fair. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Jax is gonna do a much better job or a different job with the Cyber Shield, and yeah, if you ever need help, just give me a call. I'm here if you need it. If you're ever feeling like, you're having such morose thoughts that you need someone to talk to because it's like it feels like, whatever. I'm free in that, for those times as well. So anyway, thank you guys so
Okay.
much.
All right. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, next we have Jax Domnitz from Millbrae, California. Jax is a human resource specialist, and she has been in that job for 30 years. And she has a cyber shield to show us, some magnets, kinesiology tape, and lots of things. Jax, you there?
Yes, thank you, Derek, for that lovely introduction.
Welcome.
Uh, Deb did say she needed to show her remotes. She was is it okay to let her show those remotes that break the frequencies?
Oh, yeah, she wants.
Go
Uh,
ahead, Deb. Okay.
Okay, here's the TV. No, this is to my sound surround. This remote right here, you can use any remote, but you press a button and you see the infrared light. Well, that you can use to get the frequencies off you, and I wave it over my face because you can see my face is
okay,
very
so
red from the
Deb,
bullets.
what kind of remote is that? Is that TV or
Yeah, this is
what
to
kind of,
my sound surround, and then I
okay.
got if you use the TV one, make sure you use the mute button because you could mess things up on your TV. But don't ever point it at you. Never point it at you. You point it around you, and you can do this to your animals too. You can get the frequencies off of them because when they rev up their engines when they come by, they make a loud noise. Well, that gets the graphene and the nano going in your body, and it comes close to your skin. And then they shoot the lasers; it sticks all over you. So you gotta, do this to get them off. And we all know they come back. It's not forever. But I take this to the store with me, and when someone's torturing me with something, I aim it right at them. I don't care what I'm aiming at on them, my private parts, whatever. Who cares? I hope I burn them, but
Okay.
at least I'm getting the, huh?
How effective is that
Well,
is
they
that
leave.
remote compared to say your radar reflectors? Do you use it interchangeably or at what point do you use that?
Well, when I'm out and about, I use it, and people
Oh,
don't know what I'm doing. But when I'm at the store, I put this on top of my purse, and when someone's getting me, I just turn it like that at them. They leave. They don't like it, and I know it works. They don't like it, and they leave. They leave the area, and this too. They're out of there. And if someone's in a car alongside of me torturing me, oh yeah, they get it. So
okay. So that's called a radar reflector, and you can go online and see these are actual devices, and they reflect. You can buy them, and they reflect radio frequency energy.
this one is
They
real
actually,
heavy. Yeah, you can make them real heavy. I mean, when you use the 18 gauge, it's heavy. It's not light. It weighs a couple pounds.
Okay, so something very easy and affordable that can help you in a pinch. So, okay, very good. Thank you. Thanks, Deb.
You're welcome.
Okay, back to Jax.
Okay. Then I guess I'll start now, Derek.
Okay, you ready?
Yes. So I'll get on screen share. It
Okay,
says
then
not turned on.
okay. Okay, do you have to okay, there it goes. Okay, allow. Okay,
Okay.
here you go.
Okay. Let me go to. Okay. So I have the Cyber Shield website up. I'm talking about the Cyber Shield first. This is probably the penultimate shielding for frequencies. It's the most expensive unless you build a Faraday cage. Faraday cages cost anywhere from 5,000 to 50,000 or higher. So this is much more reasonable when you want penultimate protection. And this is the Cyber Shield. The picture here that I'm showing, it's the box, is the black box with the antennas. That is the actual Cyber Shield device using Raspberry Pi operating system. And I have a keyboard plugged in. We do have a no touch or touchscreen monitors, but I prefer to use a touchscreen. So I put my mouse up there for everyone to see. You can go either way. You don't have to be a touchscreen person. If you're big fingers and clumsy like myself, I like to have a mouse because I get more exact selections. So here it is a little bit closer up. Um, it uses, the Cyber Shield uses, what's the name of it? Ionizing, it uses non-ionizing frequencies to battle the ionizing frequencies that they shoot at us. And it's an excellent, I can't believe it, it just works. We have bad days. I just want to tell people, if you were to consider buy the Cyber Shield, to buy it, there are days when coverage just sucks and we get spoiled because we're used to not having any assaults. So when we get some assaults, our resistance is not as high because we're having a life that doesn't include a lot of attacks. It diminishes by at least 90%, and some days it's 100%. And then there's days that it seems like it's about 60. But you have your good days and your bad days. So I just wanted to tell you guys too. We have some testimonies. These are all recent testimonies from from 2024 and the beginning of 2025. And one particular testimony that was really interesting was this one from a gal named Faye. And she showed before and after. You can see her face, how her face before she got her Cyber Shield. And look at her now. She's smiling and her attitude is she's such a lovely person. But it was really hard to know that until she got her help from the Cyber Shield. She was so tormented. And I met with her in Silicon Valley. The first time she wanted to see the Cyber Shield, I did a demo with her, and she said her first comment was, "Oh, the perps quit shooting me." I said, "No, that's not what happened. The Cyber Shield's working." This is what people think. They say, "Oh, the perps are playing games." They will shoot you right in front of me if they could. They want to prove they don't want you to buy it. That's the whole thing. Don't buy the Cyber Shield. It won't work. That's a lie. Don't listen to them. The hyenas are liars. So anyway, this is evidence that it does work. And she's even considering, saving up to get a second model because sometimes a cord will come loose or something because she moves it around a lot. So she was considering getting a second Cyber Shield. And it's just because she wants a replacement while the other one's getting fixed because you don't want to go without it. You get used to this. You can't go without it. It's just the way it is. One of the things that you need when you do get your Cyber Shield is a uninterruptible power supply. It's very important that you get that. I'm showing you two models here. This one on top is the Amazon Basics line, 10 outlets, 900 watt. That is a really good one, and it has 10 outlets for you, 5 on each side, 5 on the battery side, and 5 on the surge protector. You want to plug your Cyber Shield into the battery side, which is the left side of the device. Anyway, we help you. When you get your Cyber Shield, we talk to you, we tell you what you need to buy, we coach you. And another thing is, we're customer support from other Cyber Shield owners. We help each other. We have a small community of CSOs on Telegram where we get on and share frequencies and problems and solutions and events happening in our community. So we're a tight knit group. You become a member of that if you want. And you learn all kinds of things from us because this is a high tech device, and you start to see this is making sense. It's not about mysterious ghosts and stuff. It's frequencies. It's technical, and when you see how easy the solution is, you know that this is going to come to an end. But anyway, I don't want to get on a roll about prophecy and stuff, but it will come to an end. So anyway, back to the picture of the Cyber Shield hardwired setup. I'll show you guys. This is my bedroom right here, the middle picture with the little spacesuit person there. That's something else I want you guys to know. When you have your Cyber Shield on and turned on, you feel like you're wearing a spacesuit that's invisible. You're protected. That's just it. And with time, it gets even better. So this is on my bed, and guess why? Because sometimes at night, they will attack my feet, my legs, or my head or something, and I reach over, I grab that mouse, and I select a frequency. So I'm going to take my camera here and show you guys. I'm going to show you guys, let's see, can I do this? I'm going to go out of screen share. So, okay. Am I on the camera, you guys?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
see.
Okay,
You need
so
to move it up a little bit.
if I get too close, I can't see
That's
it.
That's
fine.
good.
That's fine right there.
Okay, so I don't know why it's got me. I was on speaker. That's weird. Okay, so if you want, let's say they're hitting my head. So I'm going to go over here and I will go to quad. I like quad heterodyne. That is a frequency that's a module that Daniel Frankel, who just presented, he collaborated with David Rubel, and they came up with this really great frequency that totally stops the fray effect. The fray effect is a common assault that causes your body to feel like a motor or generator is inside. They vibrate your body and your feet. You press this and you go to your 4195 over 4200, set custom range, press quad heterodyne, and it starts to stop. I have not had fray effect for ever since Daniel and David invented the quad heterodyne module. It completely, and I have shown other people who have the fray effect how to get rid of it with the cyber shield. So this is let's say now I'm having a stomach ache. That one thing they like to do is it hits your tummy. So David recently changed that setting, and so I'll go to 300. It used to be 300 over 400. Let me, I don't know if you guys can see. I'm adjusting it right now.
Okay, we can still see.
Okay. I'm sliding the primary so you guys can see. 300 over 400. Set custom range to normal. That was the setting we used to have to protect our abdominal. But David recently changed it to 300 over 700. I'll go to that. And quad heterodyne. Guess what? It is amazing. They were ripping my guts out. And I did not know that David had changed the setting. He told me, and it stopped immediately. And so what we did is posted it on our Telegram group to let all the users know this is how you get rid of uh, the solar plexus. Some people call it abdominal. I call it second brain, the colon, all of that. That's where we end up going, feeling nauseated. We go to the bathroom. It's a horrible assault and it immobilizes you. If it's so when you use this properly, you can get rid of it. And you get protection when you're driving because I don't take it with me anymore unless I'm demonstrating because I don't need it. I really don't need it. After a while you'll see that if you're a user like myself and have it on all the time, work with it, you build a neuroplasticity. So, so another attack that they like to do is the head. They will attack your head. We sometimes we will go to mode 2. It's right there. I don't know if you can see my pointer,
Yeah, we
but
can do that.
you see it
Uh-huh.
right here, mode 2. That's part of uh, that's Daniel's collaboration with David Rubel. And also Daniel has come up with other uh, modules. We have so many modules that we can't even put it all up on the screen. So, it's this module 1. You've got actually, it's only 2 modules here. You press start and, you're in. And you get it blocks everything, but it doesn't last as long as others. But anything in a time of war, we have different things that we have to do. So that it does have some technical things, and David's always adding new things and new selections and he's made huge progress, huge, because there were some issues on a couple things, but David fixed it recently. I've had it 3 years, and he has now even fixed a problem that we had in the beginning for certain frequencies, but it's done. It's over. He fixed it. So I'm really excited about that. And Daniel Frankel has really helped to change my life because of the things that he's done in collaboration with the Cyber Shield. Because I will tell you guys that quad heterodyne is what I live in. I live in that frequency with various. That's a module. I should say this properly. Quad heterodyne is a module. All these different things are modules, like normal, burst mode, full 10K, full coverage. These are modules. And so Daniel and David Rubel, their collaboration, quad heterodyne is if there's a favorite, that's my favorite because that's where they assault me the most. And it really is a wonderful thing to have. It's something that requires care and thought, and you You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to. I am not a tech person. I work in tech, but I am not a tech person. And I can do this. And I love to use it because it's intuitive. You can feel things that change. And you can tell David, and then he does a setting, and it's done with files. It's all files. I mean, it's technology. That's what they're using on us, or their files for the Ravenclaw or whatever device. I believe it's the Ravenclaw for this particular thing because it's not just some microwave weapon they're using that they cooked up. I'll tell you why it's not that. Because they read our mind. This is what they're using is a very special war device that reads people's minds and causes people to make bad decisions and like say make you drink too much or make you go to the store and spend too much, make you eat at 3 o'clock in the morning. They were doing that to me. I would get hungry at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'll put this back up. Let me fix the camera, you guys. Wow. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me
Okay,
just
well,
get
that's
it
the
straight.
first time I got to see the module up close, so I could see what the settings that you were talking about. So that was interesting.
Yeah, there's so many things that would take a long time to really do it in detail, Derek, but I'm glad you were able. We even have a sleep module, we have wake module, we have V2K modules and V2K2. People with V2K say it helps, but it's not totally eliminating the V2K, but sometimes it does. Sometimes they report that their V2K is gone, but it's short-lived. It comes back because the modules do wear out. That's what we call updating. They wear out sometimes. It'll take a day, it'll take 2 days, 3 days, sometimes it's a week. I have gone as long as 2 weeks and not changed a thing and got amazing protection. So these kind of phenomenons happen. Okay, so now I would like to, I think I did post the Cyber Shield on the website. Everybody knows it, cybershieldinfo.com. So now I wanted to tell you guys about something else I use. Uh, it's on Amazon. Shoot, that's not it. Okay, I'm a little confused right now, you guys. Uh, Let me go pull it up. Oh, there it is. Okay, back to share. Well, can't pull it. I see it, but I can't get it to come up. Oh, I know why it's on a different browser. Oh, so, let me get it on the other browser. Okay, this should work. Here we go. Share. Okay, now you see everything I've been buying. So what I wanted to show you is my list. And what I use here is I make my own shielding. I use cardboard and I cut it out. Uh, let's see, just to go back on camera, I cut it out. It looks like this. I'm not able to see myself at all on the camera. What happened? Why isn't that showing? I
Why
can
is it
see,
showing?
I can't see my own image when I'm on camera here. It's off.
Um,
Is there a video above you? Click on that and then your thing will come up.
No, it's not even showing. Do you see me on camera, Deb?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
we see you.
Okay, I'll just have to trust that it's okay because that stopped showing me. I don't know why. But anyway, this is cardboard, and I have covered one side with the adhesive copper 3.15 mil copper tape. I have about 7 layers right here, and you can see it's darker and it gets burned because they try to burn me. And I cover the other side that faces my skin with kinesiology tape. And it's relatively inexpensive. If you're on a budget, this is one of the cheaper things, but you can protect your gut. Like this is what I use for my stomach. And let me see something. I think it's because I have it on. I'm going to go to gallery. There we go. Okay. So what I do, see, I face it to my stomach. Like let's just say I'm putting it here. I put it inside my spandex pants or what have you, or inside your bra. You can wrap it around your arm if they're hitting your arm. This is amazing. And I put it on my low back. Like I'll put this because it's, covers my back. Low back. They hit us at our low back when we're cleaning the house or doing physical things. This works. Sometimes I need the extra protection when I'm waiting for an update from David. I'll have to put this on. But uh, here's another one that I use, a different size. And so I will show you guys let me go back to share now on Amazon. I had it up.
Okay, it should come up when.
There
Oh,
it is.
there it goes.
Uh, I apologize for taking so long. Here is the link for the waterproof kinesiology tape. You want to get waterproof kinesiology tape when you make it because your body always sweats. There's always moisture released, and it helps to mold your cardboard. It'll feel stiff, and you're like, "What is this?" But when you start making it and putting it on, it starts to soften up from your body heat. And the kinesiology tape feels really good. It doesn't scratch or itch. There's so far, I've never experienced any kind of allergy to it. And then the other, let me show you this. This this is the copper foil tape. Look at this, really good. It's called copper foil tape, 2 inches wide. You want that because if you get 1 inch, you're going to be forever taping it down. And it's 3.15 mil. This is the one. If you get any, make sure it says 3.15 mil dual conductive. And that is what you need. Deb uses the same one to build her cones. This is the same tape, by the way, that she builds. And I also build the cones. So I'll show you that. See, I use the same thing. And I can tell you that if you have these in your car when they shoot you in your face or head, all you do is point this at them and they're like, what? It actually shoots the rays back at the person who is shooting us. it goes to the perpetrator. And that's why they'll go, like, they back off and they're making all these, like, what is she doing? Good. This is what you need, dude. So yeah, and here's the tape. I have the tape, it the 3.15 mil conductive tape, and I also have here's the kinesiology tape. So this is kinesiology tape. This is copper conductive tape to make your cones or your cardboard shielding. I'm telling you though, this stuff, what I like about this is my personal thing. What I like about this is it fits discreetly under my clothes, and I have to face people and stuff, and they might be shooting me, and I can stick it in my pants or, whatever's going on. Most of the time I don't need it now, but I still use it. I have it available for those moments. So let's see. And then there's one other thing that I use that works really well. It's kind of a passive type of shielding, but it's a grounding. It's grounding mats. And I just had there it is. Okay, share. There, I'm getting faster, you guys. So go to my list. And there's the grounding mat. Let me tell you, these are wonderful. I use this every single day and night. I sleep on the bottom one. I bought a big one that fits a queen size bed. And I also see it has a little perforated holes. I like that one the best. It breathes better. And then I take the same thing. I bought a second one and sleep with it on top. And so I'm sleeping under a sandwich. I'm inside a sandwich of this grounding mat. And you can see here the lady on it. It really makes you feel better, and you don't know why, because they are trying to shoot you even when you're asleep. So you get this and you're going to feel better. It does block some of the assaults, even because my feet, they'll be shooting my feet and I'll get in sandwich inside this two of these and it stops. But then again, I have the cyber shield, so the forces attacking me are not as severe as someone who doesn't have the cyber shield. So the other thing, let's see, that I think there was one more thing. Let me go to my list. Wish list. Oh, magnets. I use these magnets, these neodymium black. This is 120-pound force. So I will go there and show you these large magnets. Get the 120-pound. They're wide. This is amazing also. If they're hitting my head, I'll put this up like right up against my head. Here's a smaller version, but I'll put the smooth side up against my head, and it really helps. And those I can also, if they like to attack my knees, my legs, and I will put these like in a pair of compression stockings or leggings. I'll put 2 on each knee, and 2 or 3, and it blocks, and I'm able to walk around and stuff. So it helps a lot when, like I said, when the cyber shield needs an update, I will put on magnets and I get a lot of relief. But right now I'm not getting any attacks, you guys. It's pretty amazing. David gave us a really good update yesterday. So anyway, here's the magnets. You want to get the 120-pound, 3.4. You'll get 6 or you can get 12. They work fantastic. You'll get creative with these. So anyway, let me see. I don't think I have anything else to show you, except I did want to show you one cone that Deb and I were into making these back when David Rubel told us. So I put these 2 big ones by my desks to protect my feet and legs, and it works. You just get up when they start messing with you. You just start messing with them, and it shoots it back. But they come in from top, down, side, bottom, because I have a multi-level house, and so I've noticed that they'll come in from the bottom when I'm aiming at the top. So you have to kind of figure out what they're doing. You can feel it stop. You know what direction they're coming from because you'll be pointing it where it stops. And you'll say, oh, so they're doing it from there. So anyway, I hope this helps you guys. And if you have any questions, you can you can reach me on the cybershieldinfo.com website, send me an email, and I will respond to you. Um, or you can call me 530-364-7592. You can ask me questions or anything you want. And I appreciate the fact that you guys are interested in watching. And I hope that you're able to acquire some of these methodologies of shielding. Thanks.
Okay, thanks so much, Jax. Appreciate that. And next, finally, we have Neil Chevrier, and who is in Daytona Beach, Florida. And he is a former FFCHS research and development person. He's a retired contractor, electrician, and a parasitologist. Neil has Linkstad. He has a Dream Shield hat. Is that correct?
Yes.
With a headband. He has a Shungai vest and lots of gadgets. So, Neil, what do you have?
Hello, everybody. I'll just mention a few things off first. They do make a window film at safelivingtechnologies.com. They have other shielding materials, but it became harder for us to find the stuff that blocks EMF. I think this stuff blocks like 90% of the, just regular EMF problems. So if you think a window is a vulnerability, it might be worth it to spend the money to get some of that. You just wet the window, put the stuff on, squeegee it off to get the bubbles out, and it looks professional. If you're renting, you can just peel it right off the window and take it with you and use it
What's
again.
the name of that? And could you repeat the name?
It's Safe Living Technologies,
Okay,
and that's a .com.
thank you.
And let's see, I wanted to mention AliExpress, which is also a .com. It's a whole lot of stuff that they have there. But if you put in EMF shielding material, you can get things like the silver thread material. We make sleeping bag size things and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, you'll see a ton of stuff on AliExpress, and for shipping from China, they're really good about getting stuff to you reasonably fast. And because of the competition of eBay and Amazon and other platforms, they're very into keeping their reputation clean. So it's kind of set up like, people have stores on eBay and Amazon. It's set up the same way. So you see reviews and ratings and all that. So it's a blessing to, find things that you might pay a whole lot more for here in the US, and China's pretty much making everything anyway. So it's worth going there. You'll be overwhelmed at the variety of everything you can get for such a great price. Let's see, I wanted to mention also, anybody who uses an Android phone, there's an infrasound and an ultrasound app that you can get off the Google Play Store. And the maker of it, his name is Sergio Gustav, which is, Sergio, Sergio. Gustav is Gustav. So you'll know that you're finding the right one. It's free. I know a couple of people that have used it extensively, and, we're able to get a lot of data from sonic weapon problems. So if you think you're, being assaulted, feeling the vibrating in your body is a sign of a sonic weapon.
Oh, I want some of that.
It also can show you where the source is actually coming from. So I know somebody who actually went to an address that it gave them. I haven't really had time to use it extensively, but I did take a look at it. And, if you're not feeling good, it helps to be able to pinpoint what it is that's doing it to you so that you can come up with things like Kevlar and Lexan to be able to block sonic weapon stuff. And you'll find Kevlar material. It's probably at AliExpress, but it's definitely on eBay. It's pretty hard to cut. So if you're going to use a lot of it, because you're having sonic weapon problems, they do make some scissors. I think they're $12 or something that are easier. I mean, you can cut the stuff, but it's pretty strong. And then Lexan is like plexiglass. It's a very stout polycarbonate material, so like clear plastic stuff. What's reported to me for using the Kevlar material is nice because it's flexible. When I show you what I do with making a Linkstat hat, I'll show you a piece of that material. People would send me little samples of different materials, and so I started stuffing everything into my Linkstat hat to get more protection. The thing probably weighs 5 pounds now and looks kind of poofy, but at any rate, just to mention that about the sonic stuff and to be able to use the Kevlar. The Lexan is not flexible, but it blocks sonic. They say if you aim a 357 pistol at it, from pretty close range. I don't remember how close, but anyway, the bullet won't go through it. And it's because it's very dense that it helps with doing that. And I'm just going to mention this because I'm just protective of people I care about, which is everybody. There's a problem being reported of about 98 million people in the US are getting water that's not safe, that has forever chemicals in it. And I went through having blood in my urine off and on for years, and it ended up being a bladder tumor, so that I had to have the tumor removed. And it said that they find 50% of the cases that have a bladder tumor, which also comes with a carcinoma kind of cancer, that it's from the water. And they're saying the other 50% is from people who smoke cigarettes. And I haven't smoked for 4 years. So anyway, I just got out of the hospital on January 1st from having a tumor removed from my bladder that was the size of a baseball. So I'm telling you all this just to be protective of, really do your best to get a good water source. Because these days, with the things that are going on, we're not really being loved and cared for as much. So let's see, now I'll go into making the Linkstat hat. You want to get yourself a flex fit hat because it doesn't have the little band in the back here with the little opening area. So this covers your head. Inside the hat, why it's called flex fit is that band that's inside of it is stretchy. So you're going to buy yourself a hat for whatever kind of shielding material that you use. Can I do that right? Flex fit, see it? You can get these off at Amazon. Buy a hat that's a little bit bigger, because you're going to be stuffing 10 layers of Linkstat in there if you're making a Linkstat hat. I used to sell Linkstat. I have a little bit left if anybody wanted to buy some of it for making a hat. It comes on a 3-foot wide roll. It's a polyethylene material that's loaded with carbon. So it comes on a roll. You can buy pieces of it off of eBay. I haven't checked to see if AliExpress sells it. There's a product that's also called Velastat, which doesn't work as good. This stuff here is actually loaded with carbon to a rating of what they call 50,000 ohms. So the resistance of it from the company that I got it from, which is Caplink, CAPLINQ, is in Canada. So, now with the cost of shipping, everything has become crazy expensive, which was, one of the reasons I stopped selling Linkstack, because it's just really unfair how much people are having to pay for shipping. Okay, so then it becomes, how are you going to take this plastic material and get it to go inside of a hat and fit? And so Skizit, our webmaster of Citizens Against Harmful Technology, which is at targetedhumans.org now because they stole our URL. What you do is you just make a circle of Linkstat that when it goes into the hat, it's going to be sticking out of the hat, an inch or two. And then, so you've taken a circle of it and you're cutting it out like the shape of a piece of pie or a pizza. And by doing that, it allows you to set it into the hat and take shape in the hat. So you'll take that circle and you'll put it up inside the hat, and some of it's going to be sticking out. And then you're going to take pieces of electrical tape or whatever kind of tape you like to work with. Electrical tape works good. This is kind of hard to hold up here. But at any rate, once you get that first piece in there, you put the thing on your head so it kind of positions it all into the shape of the hat and fitting to your head. And then you're going to take pieces of electrical tape, and where it overlaps is where you'll tape the two pieces together. So now you have a, pre-fitting kind of a shape that fits. So you do 2 layers of the Linkstat into the hat by doing it that way, just using the electrical tape over the seams that overlap to hold them in place. And then after you've gotten 2 layers on, it will hold enough body shape on its own to be able to put more layers on it. And as you're doing that, you tuck it inside the hat, put the hat on your head. If it's starting to get too tight, then put the other last 8 layers on the outside. If it's not getting too tight, then you can put more layers on the inside. And then what you're going to do, here's a house I have that's done. It's a house of blues, so it's a musician thing. I'm a musician. As you probably all know, you've heard my song Waves of Darkness about TIs. Okay, basically what you do is you just take another hat and you take one of those seam ripper thingies. Here, the seam ripper, and you just take the threads out that are holding the visor on another hat, which will be just a little bit smaller than the one that you bought, and you make yourself an insert like this. So it's all pre-shaped. And there's a thing about these baseball hats that they use metal, a metal rivet kind of a thing right there in the center for that little button that's on the outside. You want to take a pair of wire cutters or pliers and take that thing off of there because it's metal, and you'll feel yourself getting head hits right at the top of your head if you don't take that off, when they decide to attack you that way. So the whole idea of this is that here's the inside of the hat without the insert. You're looking at Kevlar there. Under the Kevlar is the 10 layers of Linkstat. After you're done getting all 10 layers, you tuck it inside the hat, you pull back this stretchy band, and you tuck you cut around the extra piece that's hanging over out of the hat so that when you put this stretchy band back over the top, the whole thing fits right in there. And then you take your insert and you put it inside the hat and you tuck it underneath the stretch band. So now you have a hat that just looks like a regular everyday hat. It's a little bit more poofy with all the stuff tucked up in there, but it's subtle enough to be able to go out in public and, stop some of the head hits from happening. Obviously it's good to protect your brain and it's good to protect your pineal gland too, because that's our connection to God, and we don't want to break our connection to God. They want us to, but in these times, it ain't going to happen. Love is rising up above everything. So let's see. I think that's about it on the Linkstat hat. I'll have to do a screen share. Okay. On the Dream Shield, there was somebody on a call about 12, 15 years ago. Am I getting this to pull up?
I don't think you're on screen share yet.
Oh, I see. Okay, I just got to hit share. There it goes. Let's see. I'll just mention, while I'm on the Linkstat topic, I just forgot that I have a Word document with all the instructions of how to make the hat and things you can use it for. Let's see. One of the things you can use it for, you guys see that up on the screen? A bed with a wooden frame over it?
No, that's not up there.
Oh. Right. Let's see. Sure. Sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit. I'm trying to get a particular window to come up. Here's AliExpress. As you can see, there's just a ton of materials and the pricing will be better. It's like buying direct and not, seeing all the markups on anything you get through eBay and all that. Anyway, I have a document. You can write me at electricrose22@protonmail.com for the instructions on the Linkstat and how to use it. Trying to see how I do this. Not even coming up now. Anyway, one of the applications of using Linkstat is to make yourself a Faraday cage. Obviously, the price of copper is outrageous. So anyway, as I said, you can just email if you want the instructions that I provide for how to use the Linkstat and all that. Now, the next, this is the Dream Shield. It's there was a guy on a call 12 to 15 years ago. He said that he was taking a little AA battery, hooking it up to a little motor. So there's the motor right there. And then he was taking two wires, the plus side and the minus side, off the motor and putting them to his temples on his head. And, I don't think it's a good idea to be running electricity through the human brain. So I tried some different things. I was having a problem with, bad dreams, waking up angry, sometimes not even remembering, particular. And so what I came to do is I made a headband out of what's called ribbon cable. I mean, you could use just speaker wire. You need 2 wires minimum. What I did was just take something that would be more comfortable. So this little flat ribbon cable here has about 10 different wires in it. And all I did was take half the wires and make them for the plus side to hook to the motor and the other half to make to the minus side. And then I took a couple of connectors off of the little thing that joins the ribbon cable together. And I just put 10s unit connectors on the end of that. And then I built it into a silver lined hat. So it's got the silver inside. And right where you see this band going around, I just sewed what I just showed you, that ribbon cable inside of it. Okay, so now I have 2 wires coming off of the Dream Shield that hook onto these 2 wires. I put the hat over my head when I go to bed. I don't wake up angry. My dreams are okay. I remember my dreams more. The whole idea of dream manipulation is, as bad as the subliminal subconscious sabotage thing that they're doing. Like Richard Lighthouse said, when you hear that chirping sound in your right ear, they're putting something into your subconscious. So, obviously it's counterproductive to what you choose to create in your own life. So he said, actively say, don't listen to whatever just came in on your subconscious. So this was another thing, was to keep them out of your head, while you're sleeping. And I really noticed a significant difference, or I wouldn't share it. This was just a prototype to prove that the idea would work, to be able to just get a pulsing electromagnetic field. I also have complete instructions and a parts list for how to make one of these dream shields. It's not, something that you have to be a tech to be able to do or anything. It takes 2 wires to run a little 12-volt, in this case, hobby motor. So you could get a hobby motor off AliExpress or go to the Hobby Lobby or eBay, Amazon, whatever. And then this little box that you see over here, this little square PC board thing with a knob on it, that's just a speed controller for a direct current motor. Direct current being, like in this case, I'm using a motorcycle battery because of getting too many documents that are showing that Lilly waves are being superimposed through the neutral ground system of our electrical power sources. Always been
That thing's cool, ain't it?
about telling people to hook anything up that's coming out of the house power
Tell you something though,
overnight.
you're going to anyway. It'd probably be a lot easier if we took off that long piece. We don't have to have that big old long.
Can somebody please mute themselves? You're coming out on the
Now,
whole thing.
you don't have to have that whole big old long piece on there. To do the sink, it'd probably be easier to not have it on there.
Looks like Jane Kiesel.
Oh, okay.
Is talking.
Just
Jane, can you mute yourself? You're coming over the whole call. Thank you. Okay, so anyway, price wise and simplicity, in my case, I used this motorcycle battery because I didn't want to plug into house power and get dirty electricity. It costs about $2 for this little electric motor and it costs about $7 for this thing here, which is called a pulse width modulator. Again, you can email me at electricrose, like the flower 22 at protonmail.com, and I'll send you the instructions with the parts list if you decided that you want to make one of these. This gold colored wire here is speaker wire. So it's just 18 gauge speaker wire, which works great. You can make it a headband that goes around your head and, put a hair tie or something to hold it so it'll go tight, or those little plastic tie wraps we use in electronics. And you can get an AC adapter that plugs into the wall if you don't have a way to get independent power. Like they sell those little jumper battery units, you plug it into your wall, you charge it up, and then you throw it in the trunk of your car. And if you ever were out in the middle of nowhere and needed to jump, those things do that. So that's a way to do it for about $50, like at Harbor Freight, they have good prices, or AliExpress for that matter, to be able to have a power source that doesn't plug into the wall. But if you did have a power source, it would be an AC adapter that converts 120 volts AC to 12 volts DC. In this case, because I'm using a 12-volt little hobby motor, that would run like an electric airplane or something that needs to spin. And then on the pulse width modulator that controls your speed, you just have two wires that go into it, the plus being the red where it says plus on the battery, the minus being the negative. So it shows plus minus in, there's two little screws, and then plus minus out is the two wires that go to the motor. And then all you do is you take two more wires off of the motor, and those are going to be speaker wire that you make long enough to be able to have it run to your bed, and then you just put that headband around your head. I'm not sure how many people will be interested in this, but if you're having a hard time with dream manipulation, or waking up angry, or just not feeling like yourself, this really did turn out to be a blessing. We ended up going on to make some microcircuitry electronic units that played frequencies, but we got attacked so bad for building those that we had to stop. So I'm not really going to waste any time going into that. And any questions people have about any of this stuff, I don't want anybody to think that this is too hard to do, because it's really very simple. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me.
Okay, so was that it?
No, I have one more thing here
Oh,
to
okay.
go. Let's see. I'm trying to find stop share.
It's at the top, Neil.
I know it normally is. I don't know why I'm not seeing it.
Do you have multiple browsers on? I did that myself. I had like 5 browsers and I couldn't find it.
Oh. Hmm. Not sure what to.
That's Neil Chevrier talking.
Okay, now I got this back. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay, this is just basically an orbital sander. This was something that was built for a lady that was getting her face muscles attacked so badly. She said the pain is brutal beyond anything. And so this engineer designed and made this, and um, how I found out about it. It's using 50-pound pole magnets. If you take a compass and put it over a magnet, you'll see which side will point to the north and which side will point to the south. Apparently, you always want to make sure that the north side of a magnet is facing towards your body if you're going to be doing, magnets that are on your body. So it's a good idea to check that or look for magnets where they actually will mark them, so they'll show you which side is north and south. So in this case, what the engineer did is he made one magnet facing north, the other one south, then the other north, and then another one south. And then you just turn this little orbital sander on, the things around. I have one that I made out of a dishwashing motor, a motor out of a dishwasher. And I just, when I'm getting brutally attacked, I turn it on and it really helps to stop it. As you saw from what Jax did in her presentation, you can get tons of magnets on Amazon. I think there's a place called Apex that sells tons of them too. And be careful with these really strong pull magnets, because if you're working with two of them or you're near anything metal that has magnetic properties and it pulls, you don't want to get your fingers or anything else in the way. They can be dangerous. I mean, we even have one that's a 1,200-pound pull, and it's
Oh,
scary. I'm telling you. Put it out in the garage and stuck it to a propane tank because it's just too scary.
you'll be stuck to the ceiling.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's really that bad. Not only is it gonna pinch and cause blood blisters, but you might find yourself hanging off the ceiling, or maybe a ceiling fan and you're spinning around in a circle, right?
Yeah. I've had my finger between two 100-pound magnets. It did not feel good.
No, it does not.
It's like, "Nah." You're just trying to get it off.
That's right.
But you
Okay.
learn, I could comment on that, Dale. When you use magnets, you get real good at how to put them down, where to place them after having two or three stick together. That one thing that I could tell you guys is one way to separate two magnets is to take a long boning knife and pour oil on the magnets and then stick the boning knife between them and take a rubber hammer and it comes right apart.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and you learn how to work with them. To get those four on that little Lexan plate was a challenge, because you had to get the screw to line up and all that. See, I'm going to share one more thing here
That's fair.
if I can. I'm not sure. Are you guys seeing a bed up there? I'm not getting an option to
Not yet.
try again.
Yeah.
No, anyway, sorry I can't show this.
Are you doing screen share?
Yeah,
Just look to make sure. What I did, I had multiple browsers. I think you're using multiple browsers, right? You have to use the same browser that your Zoom meeting is on. Whatever, uh,
I mean
you
like
know,
Firefox, right?
if you're using Firefox, just look for it there. If it's not, you'll have to bring it up.
I see. For some reason, I'm not seeing the option yet to share after I pull up share screen. Well, it's not.
Oh, maybe mine is still on, Derek. Mine is still on.
Oh,
There it is. There it is.
Okay. What I did here is I took 2x2 wood, and I didn't want any metal in it because, I just was afraid of anything drawing unpleasant frequencies into it. This was just a low cost way to make a frame to make yourself a Faraday cage that you can sleep in. So right here in the front, I ended up framing this across, put a little bit of a door in there, and then I linked that over the outside and the inside. This is a waterbed frame here that I, ended up setting a regular mattress in. Apparently not a good idea to use box springs. You're trying to stay away from metal that can be used against you. So before I put the mattress in there, I lined the whole bottom of the waterbed frame with a couple of layers of link stat and then, tucked it up over before I set the 2x2 frame on here. All this I put together with wooden dowels instead of screws or nails. Which may have been overkill, I can't say, but I was just trying to come up with something effective to be able to make a low-cost Faraday cage. And then yeah,
Neil, may I ask a question when you're
sure.
done?
Yeah,
Well,
go.
what did you put underneath the mattress and the top of this Faraday cage for your bed? And question number 2 is, do you still use it? Because I don't see this as completed. It looks like you started it, but it did not end. Or
Yeah, I did actually finish it. I don't have pictures, or at least that I didn't find. I had a computer that went bad and I lost some of my pictures. But what I did is, I used the 3 foot wide link stat and stapled link stat to the outside of the whole enclosure and to the inside, and then link stat underneath the mattress. So the whole bottom was lined so that it would block any EMF coming from below. And
and
then,
how about the top?
oh, same thing. I mean, you have to protect yourself from 6 sides. And another thing that I noticed, I wanted to ground it. So you see a little wire hanging down right there.
Yeah.
I actually ran this wire outside the house and I started pounding an 8 foot ground rod in, and I started noticing a Cessna airplane showed up. So I hid my tools and I walked away because I had just this intuitive thing or this paranoid thing, a thin line between caution and paranoia, right? But I pictured that they were going to get the coordinates of, I put my ground rod so that they could hit the ground rod with frequencies, which would then be saturating my Faraday enclosure with whatever frequency. So for them to leave, I pounded the 8 foot ground rod in. I used coax wire so that the outside, has a woven metal shield to it, and then the inside has the main wire that's protected. And then I ran that in and I used a tens unit sticky pad, which is also made of link stat with the sticky stuff that makes it stick to your skin. And I just hooked the wire up to the little link stat tens unit pad and, stick the wire in there. And that connected it to ground to bleed off the excess EMFs that they were aiming at me. So this was a way to do low cost enclosure. Sorry, I don't have the pictures of it when it was completed. When we moved, I didn't put it back up. I've just not been using it. I've been so busy with other stuff.
What?
Let's see.
Four, down, 7, 4, 4, 7, 7.
Hello. I have received a very strange message from this telephone phone number, bordering on a threat, that I've been notified 4 times
Doesn't
of
realize
what?
muted.
And it doesn't tell me of what it is I've been notified. But I will notify you. I might report.
Thank you, Derek.
Okay,
Thank you.
sorry about that.
Okay, that's about what I have to share with everyone. If you have any questions or comments, or you want instructions to build the Dream Shield or the instructions for the link stat, you can probably find the link stat on eBay or Amazon in smaller pieces to be able to make a hat if you think it'll be something that'll serve you. And it looks like by my notes, that
And
is
that was everyone. Thank you, Neil, and everyone for those great presentations. This is our panel, guys. If you have questions for them, if you could do this one at a time, you can unmute yourself and ask a question of them, and please mute yourself back when you ask your question. Okay. We came close.
I have a question. I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
On those the cyber shields, while the antennas were going up,
Yeah.
it was showing, yeah, the blonde lady. The perps come into my house, you know, when I'm out. I mean, what do you do with it when it to protect it? You got to take it with you everywhere you go, or you know what I mean? You have a problem with that?
Steve, is that your name, Steve?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay,
Yeah.
I leave mine. They do come in. They do home invasions on me too. What they do is steal things from me and take my they'll even take my insulin. They've done that. But what if Daniel Frankel is still on, Daniel said he doesn't, they don't bother his cyber shields. They haven't bothered mine. I have not ever experienced any kind of movement damage. I really do think that there is some information. This is a technical group. It's a war thing. It's being used on the humans, the human innocence. Daniel, if you would comment, please. I see you on there. Tell people what
yeah.
you've experienced, that your cyber shield is not touched.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, the Cyber Shield is it seems to be like, I mean, it's kind of it's a device that you have to pay for, obviously, and it also has value. So they, at least in my case, they don't damage anything that's very valuable. I've never seen them damage something over $1,000 before. I think it's just too much of a risk, because I mean, the Cyber Shield does cost some to acquire and buy, so that would be something that would be like a felony, for instance, or close to a felony in terms of property damage. I can't think of that exact value, but still, like the more something costs, the more like the penalty goes up. So I've never seen them, break anything or steal anything that's worth a lot of money, in my opinion. I mean, they will do things that two valuable objects, but they'll never like I've never seen them steal anything. And the Cyber Shield also, I think it's in that like shielding category. I don't know how they work, but they seem to for some reason they have these rules they seem to follow, and they don't seem to mess with the Cyber Shield very much.
Or what if you put a tracker in it? You know, so you some kind of something in it that you know when I take it that you know where it's going. You know, without them knowing that. You know what I mean? That would be kind of
Steve,
Yeah.
I think there's a mutual, there's a respect for the cyber shield because we're fighting them on their own turf. We're using the very same frequencies to block the frequencies they're shooting us, and also the cyber shield. They have not ever touched mine. They have never moved a single thing. An antenna. At one point, I had 3 set up in my house all simultaneously. I left there, at some point you just throw up your hands and say, F it. I got to go. And I left it all behind and they did not do anything. And I called Daniel and I said, what about when you leave? And I was worried, but they do not bother it. And I think the task for the enemy is to get through it. They think that they can overpower the cyber shield. That's their goal, is to legitimately not come in and break it in half, but to come in and legitimately maybe infiltrate it and get past David's frequencies. But they can't, because we're fighting them with the on their own turf. So that I think that it is some kind of mutual respect, Daniel. Daniel, do you have any comment on that?
I can't be sure. I'm pretty sure that they don't seem to tamper with the cyber shield very much. I mean I don't know why. I mean I think it
I'm
yeah
guessing. I'm guessing. I mean, nobody sent me a memo,
Yeah,
but
now,
you
now,
know.
yeah
now they'll all be stolen.
yeah. I mean
Oh,
I've never
oh, that reminds me. The only way they have attacked the cyber shield is to disconnected at the power source. If you plug it into a wall without an uninterruptible power supply, they will zap it and break it. You will have to send it in and get it fixed. It costs about $400. So you want to have a UPS. That's how they attacked my cyber shield in 2021 when I bought it. I had to send it to David and get it fixed because he forgot to tell me to get a UPS. So very important. It's paramount importance but we talk to people when they buy it and let them know you got to get a UPS. So that's the only way they've attacked it. Go ahead, Daniel. I'm sorry, but I
What
just
do you
felt
say?
that was so important.
Okay.
Oh, no, that was pretty much yeah, I recommend obviously protecting it with the energy source, like I mean like with a power supply too. That seems to be important. You can also use it in a car. I use it in a car. Jax doesn't, but I think it just depends on who you are and how you want to try it out. But yeah, I use there's a sine wave converter you can get for the car as well, which I is something that may have been discussed. But yeah, you can try that out for the car. It's really, really helpful. And you know, it really, I mean, I've heard from other people that that also helps with like depending on how you use it, it can help with a lot of things. Anywhere you turn it on, it'll work. So yeah, it's a very good device. And yeah, for some reason, I mean, I don't know what it is, but it could be the value of it. It's just something that they don't seem to mess with very much. I mean, the Silent Night as well. I've heard of them messing with it before you get it, but not, like as soon as it's on, it's working. It seems to be like in that like not mess with category. I don't get why, but it's like
Well,
the
they
Silent
do
Night.
though, Daniel. They do.
Yeah.
Why they try to blow it up at the top power source? They
Oh
have done
yeah,
that. So I mean, they do, but they don't physically come in and break it with their hands. Like
yeah, yeah,
there's a difference.
yeah. No, it seems to be that they maybe because of who they are, I don't know, they treat it like it's, they were if they're gonna attack it, they'll attack it from like with some sort of energy or from they won't actually physically break it. Maybe it's because it's like it wouldn't make sense. I mean, they're kind of all about, covert, like, they don't want anything that's like their style is more like, spy-ish, like let's break it with some sort of spy technology, not physically. I don't know, it doesn't seem like they would physically damage it. It's just not I feel like their way of operating it, they just don't do that. Yeah.
Thanks.
They
Thank
Um,
want
you.
tech. They want tech, but they'll. Oh, go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want to show you guys what I do with my magnets and how I put them in a hat. I just put them like right up here. I don't know about the north and the south if I'm doing that right or not, but can you see the hat here?
Yeah.
And we
Okay,
can see
good.
that.
I just put them like right here where my temple is on both sides of the hat. Just the magnets, you get there, and I put
Raise
put
the hat up about 2 inches up high there.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So yeah, I just put them in the lining there, and I connect them to the cloth there, and I just put them like that. And I
Does
put
it help? Do you feel
yes,
better?
it helps tremendously. It helps when I get the headaches and stuff. It's just the only thing I use for the headaches and stuff. It really helps.
Raise up the hat again. There, we can't see
Yeah.
it.
And then I put one in the back here, so I have it in 3 points right there.
What force are you using? Are those 50 pounds?
I don't know. They're just strong magnets, I got them on Amazon. They're the Neo, whatever you call them,
Neodymium.
I don't know what pound they are, but I don't know. They're the most powerful ones they had that at the time. But you
Wow.
guys want to hear a really powerful magnet? The electric bike. I took an electric bike apart, right? And they got these little magnets here. Let me take it off for you. They're small, and these little things come from an electric bike. And I had to take the tire off, and this is what's inside of it. This goes all the way around for the electric bike to move. And these suckers are really powerful. You get them from an electric bike. I took them. I don't know where you can buy them. The only place I know how to get them if you have an electric bike and a tire that comes with the electric bike, the motor part of it. This is what the magnets that are inside that. And these suckers are powerful. These are more powerful than the ones I got from Amazon. If anyone has a spare electric bike or something, the electric bikes, the wheels cost you, I don't know, $100 or something, but you got to take it apart, you got to smash it, and I don't know. I kind of like doing that stuff.
Where are you located? What state?
I'm in San Diego.
Oh, cool. You're in California.
Yeah, sure am.
I miss California.
The Californians with the California.
You're from California, aren't you?
Yeah, there's nothing like California people once you live in Florida.
Yeah. You know what? When you just can't appreciate it, it's beautiful outside. You just can't, when we're attacked and stuff, you know what? I tell you, it is nice to have nice weather all the time. I mean, I can't complain about that. I mean, it's nice. That's one.
Yeah,
and Florida's good. That's good.
I wish we could be all California girls.
That's right, Deb.
Dreaming. Since what he's talking about with the hats, it does work. We do that too. Here's a thing that's an aviator hat. Sometimes you might see motorcycle guys wearing it. And the cool thing about these hats is it has a little spot here with a zipper in the side. And so what I did is I put magnets inside where that zipper is. See?
Yeah,
wow, that's nice.
What kind of magnets like that you're showing me, those round, are they more powerful than the Neo whatever magnets?
The neodymiums are the best.
The Neos are more powerful than those. Okay, because I got some of those. Yeah, those.
These were just, I might have took them out of speakers or something.
Yeah, that's where I get them. I put those. I do with those. I like those. When I sleep, I put those in the pockets when I'm sleeping with something. And I used to wake up with really bad Charlie horse, like cramps, or
Yeah, in your calves.
Just your legs would be so messed up. I forget what my memory's going bad now. I can't remember it. Not a Charlie horse, but
it's down in your calves above your ankles, right?
But I just put them together. I just put them like I do on my hat and that on both up around my thighs. And I wake up and I don't have those cramps anymore. But they were excruciating. They were so bad, man. I could hardly. Oh, they were terrible.
They are terrible. One of the things that you can do to help with that can sometimes and quite often with TIs be magnesium deficiency.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're not being attacked there because I've been through it and really screaming because, like you said, it hurts excruciatingly.
The cramp. What are those called? What are they called? They're cramp. They're not a cramp. Is what are those called? What's the exact term? What do you call that when you get a leg cramp or a leg? What the hell you call that?
I'm not thinking of the word either.
You know what I mean? It's like
spasm. A Charlie horse.
What?
Yeah, like a muscle spasm, right, Jeff?
Spasm, yeah, spasm, but there's a cramp, a muscle cramp. Shoot, I can't remember what the spasm, muscle cramp, Charlie horse, or well, it's just it's just one of those things where it's painful. It's only in my legs I get them though. But if I didn't have my magnets when I sleep, um, I'd wake up, man, and they just, oh boy, that was bad. It helped too if I get those in the morning. You could use a hair dryer, and that would kind of help to have it go away. That's the only thing I knew. Otherwise, oh boy, it was painful. I mean, that was the most painful thing ever. From
It
this.
really is. Yeah, it gets your attention, doesn't it?
Oh gosh.
Hey,
Yeah.
Neil.
Yes.
Alvin?
Neil?
Okay.
Yes, go
I
ahead.
can hear you.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Hi, this is Nancy.
Robin.
Robin, oh my God. I've been worrying about you so much because I don't even know how to get a hold of you anymore.
I was so worried about you, you have no idea. I wound up in a nursing home for a year and a half.
You have?
I'm out now.
Oh, you are? What state are you in?
I'm still in Georgia.
Oh, you are? Okay. Oh
Yeah,
my,
I was so happy when I saw you were presenting. I
my
cried because I knew you were okay. I was so worried something happened to you.
That's how I feel about you. I'm grateful to get to hear your voice. I love you.
I love you too, honey. I emailed you the other day. But I don't want to take up everybody's time. But listen, sweetheart, can I combine magnets with the Linkstat hat?
Yeah, of course you can. And like what Steve's showing you, just sticking one on the outside and one on the inside so they hold each other in place.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Oh, because
just like
the problem, I
that.
didn't have,
Can you see it? You just put them in. It's like for me, is that where the tip of it is on the hat? That's where it goes because it goes at your temple. I think that's a good place to have them, right there.
okay.
See, it's just
Because
inside the hat. You just put on one on, and I don't know about the north and the south. I don't know what direction I'm putting them in. I don't know. But it works. I don't know about that. And then I put one in the back too. So it's like 3 points.
okay, so I had about 20 in the hat,
20.
and it would work. I get hit so hard in my head that I can't.
That'd be hard
I
to get
can't.
on though. If you have too many of them, they're going to come together, and you won't be able to separate them to put on your head. That's the problem. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. You can only put so many because that's those.
You can
come
tell
together.
which side is the force because put something like a paper clip or that'll stick to it, and that's if it sticks to that side, that's the side you should put up facing your skin or facing you.
Right.
So that's how you can tell, Steve.
Okay, so I have these like this, and I have the big ones doesn't get going on my skin, so I put like a paper clip or something. Well, it's going to go on, so it'll. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So the side it probably sticks because you're putting the hat on and those magnets face your skin. That's probably already done. Or you would be in pain.
It's right on my skin, yeah. But I think it's going to
Be in
stick.
pain if they weren't done right.
Either side, the paper clip's going to stick to it though. But one side is going to be more powerful than the other side.
Yes, right.
Okay. Neil.
Luda.
Yes, Robin.
No,
Neil, is there a way? May I ask Neil to comment? Neil, is there a way for him to test those magnets? Since he has those metal ones, he can't really tell which side is the most powerful.
Yeah, by just getting a cheap compass and you hold the compass over the top of the magnet a couple inches above it, and you'll see the needle of the compass will either go north or south. That was the only way I tested them. I didn't remember what you just said about it being the sticking side. That's the north side. So that's good information.
But these from an electric bike, if y'all can see these things, these are 3 of them put together. I think on an electric bike, it might have about 20 of these that go around the wheel.
Oh, wow.
If you can get those, man, those are, they're small, but these are the most powerful small magnets I've ever seen.
Right.
Neil, Luda.
Oh, Luda. Oh, my God. Hello.
I got the word that you were on tonight, and it's the last call probably I ever was on was yours, and this is the next one now.
Wow. Oh, geez.
I have been kind of, shall we say, I don't know what even to describe. But anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Still above the dirt. Still above the dirt. And that's one good thing every hour.
Mm-hmm. Good. Nice to hear your voice.
I'm glad you moved.
Yeah, we live near the beach now. It's a pretty nice little town. Taxes are high though.
I see. I'm glad you're getting healthy too.
I'm working on it. That whole tumor in my bladder thing was really scary.
Are they still hitting you as hard as they did in the past?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, you know me, I can't really bite my tongue too well, so I call out the truth for what it is, and I've learned, you know, if I want to be viciously attacked, I can say certain things and I'll definitely get attacked. So they are in my mind.
I never used the language I do now, and never in my life, never. I taught me to be a real truck driver.
I know. I've been working on being a little bit more even-tempered because it just ends up being such a waste of energy when they get you all stirred up. And, you know, it's not fair what's happening to us, but just if it's not going to do any good to get so angry and all that, you know, it makes we end up having to be better people because of what we have to deal with under duress. And, you know, I've asked this question, you know, in my prayers, why would you allow these things to happen? And, you know, every answer I get is always anything that will bring you back to me and bring you back to a better understanding of who you are and how you're connected to me and what you're here to learn so that you can come back to me. I mean, what it's really good, what it's going to take to make heaven on earth happen. So I'm glad I get to mention this. There's a little book. Let me grab the.
Can I say something about that issue too? I was headed for hell. I know I was headed for hell. And before this, and after I started up, now I think I'm going to go to heaven. But if I didn't come up with this, if I wasn't attacked and stuff, I was on the road to hell. I know I was.
This little book here called The Impersonal Life. You can get it on eBay or Amazon or anywhere. This book explains everything so clear and so simply. You know, I don't know how many of you ever read Conversations with God, but Neil Donald Walsh really did have a dialogue with God.
What's the book? The book was.
The book is just small like this. They have it in paperbacks. This is a hardback one. The first printing was actually 1941. I think you can see there it says The Impersonal Life. So the title is The Impersonal Life, and I promise you, if you go through this book, each chapter gives you an understanding of who God is and who we are to God, and how to really, I mean, this is not a religious thing that's putting any man-made disempowering belief systems or anything like that in it. It's really direct. You know, I don't feel like I really have much to offer in shielding and protecting, but to give you the understanding of who we are, why we're here, where we're going, and some things that are happening within the human race that are, as probably most of you have observed, when you start to raise your frequency more into a state of love, you get attacked more for it. Whether it's
Yes.
psychological depression, physical suffering, or whatever. People have, Julie, who does the call. I don't know if she still does her call, but she said that somebody actually measured that when people read the Bible, that their frequency went up higher. So anywhere that we can get empowering truth and things that are leading us back to God, let alone all that we've had to endure to become who we are. I mean, to get to hear Robin and I see Nancy's here in the chat room and Luda, we've probably all wondered about each other if we've made it through this. Well, we have. We've had it way harder than other people, and I think that that's caused us to grow a lot more than other people that haven't been
That's,
under the unspeakable duress we have.
that's true, Neil.
Yeah.
I
And
think it makes you open your heart more.
it does, and I know you, Robin, well enough to know you were already running at a very high frequency. We're like little lighthouses spread all over the planet, and they're trying everything. I mean, Robin has tried so many things, and she's been viciously attacked to the point that it's a miracle that she's still alive. And I can say the same thing for me, but I happen to know, that she has quite a spiritual background and she's quite a bright, shining lighthouse, for truth and God and empowerment and goodness and love. And those are the people that get attacked pretty badly and probably more so. So consider yourselves shining stars, everybody, because you probably are.
I agree, Neil. And I think we owe it to ourselves and to humanity to every day try to open our hearts more to loving in a higher level than we did the day before. Because if we stay in the frequency of love, we can't win.
That's right. That's exactly what's happening now is, everything is vibrating at a different frequency. So it's become a frequency war. And I think God put some of us here to be the higher resonating frequency generators of love and the tenacity that we've had to have, I mean, we've all been through our moments of being cynical and all that, but we bounce back and we come back and we share love and we reach out and give a smile or a helping hand to a stranger because that's just who we are.
And that's who we need to remain being.
That's right.
Can't let them harden your heart. We're here to love. We're here to connect. It's about oneness. And they're trying to prevent us from going back to a state of oneness and pure love, unconditional love.
That's right. I'm putting the link for the book, The Impersonal Life, in the chat for anybody who wants it. And this is just from eBay. You can probably find it anywhere. I mean, this book is a godsend, and I've looked in so many places. I have a ton of books, studied so many things, tried different religions, did Bible study, so many things. And this is when you're ready for it, you comprehend what's being said there, it will empower you like you've never been empowered before. And the message that I get from this is this book came to me because I was ready for it. So,
Right.
My prayer that goes out to you is that you're ready for it too, because I mean, I'm to a point where I have a dialogue with God and I ask questions like, how could you allow people to be attacked with all this electronic weaponry and have some of the unspeakable things that are happening? And I'm getting answers that are clear and I'm able to comprehend them. I'm so glad this all came up, that it's getting up into the higher realms of who we really are and what we're doing here.
Yes. Yes.
So I posted
You
that.
know, I haven't been in the community for several years now at all. I've just been trying to survive minute by minute. But let me ask, does anybody have any idea of an estimate of how many people are really being targeted in this country today? Any kind of estimate?
Last I heard it was about 1 million.
Anybody else?
Well, yeah, there are estimates between 1 and 2 million.
I can't, it's hard to believe because I mean, I've tried to find other targeted individuals where I live and there aren't any. So, I mean, 1 million, come on. I don't think there's that many. I really don't.
Some people don't know they're
Well,
targeted.
yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of people don't realize that
Yeah, I get
targeted. And we've got there's been a steady stream of people contacting us for the past 20 years. So I would say it's accurate.
I mean, people stalked and the same things like that, and break-ins in the houses. 1 million people? You think that many?
I think much more, actually.
The break into houses and changing things around. I mean, when you'd hear a lot more if that happened. If that happened to a lot of people, that people were going into their house and they were moving things around, you would hear a lot more on the news about that.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen to everybody, huh? Everybody's targeting is a little bit different.
Yeah, I know. So that's the worst part of the targeting me is that coming in my house, I could kill. If they didn't do that, I would be a lot better. And I mean, that's the kind of the targeting that I'm getting. I don't know, and everyone else says they have it worse than you, but you have that handbook they have. They've done just about everything to me in that handbook.
I understand.
It's like I just can't believe that many people are targeted. And they're doing stuff to them. Maybe they're doing, waking up with those bad cramps I was getting. And the doctor wouldn't be able to explain how you got those. I mean, those were excruciating. You'd hear a lot more people complaining about those, but those things are deafening, man. Those are killer. Until I started putting magnesium.
Like Neil said, make sure you have enough magnesium.
Yeah,
because if you're deficient,
bananas.
It's going to make you cramp worse. So get a good magnesium supplement into your body every day.
And potassium, because my doctor explained it as a Charlie horse, and it was potassium.
Charlie horse,
right?
Yeah,
more bananas every day, that stopped it.
One other comment to the guys to the lady's question a few minutes ago. There's a guy that actually we interviewed at our conference call a few years ago. His name is Stuart Swerdlow. He was actually one of those children that was captured into this program and raised as a trainer, as a handler in this program. And he said he learned from what they told him that their goal was up to 10% of the population.
No. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's it's quite a lot of people. And there's various levels. So that's somebody that was actually in the program.
Derek.
Oh, hi, Barbara.
Hey, hi, Neil, hi, Jax. It's like oldies but good, the oldies but the goodies.
Oldies but goodies.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Jax. Hey, Neil. I'm sorry you were in the hospital.
Thank you. Yeah, that was pretty traumatic, I must say. I'm not a hospital person. It was 13 days of it.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
We don't live close by to you anymore, but please don't put me on video because I'm kind of laid up too. A couple things I wanted to say. Do you guys have any idea what these weapons are? Because I was forced off my feet. This is like the third time this happened. Broke my fibula, my knee, a bone in my knee, bones, plural, in my ankle. So I'm in a wheelchair again.
Oh,
Oh my
This
God.
is
awful.
This was not a fall. Like, of course, they want to say I fell, but it was not
Yeah.
it was not a fall that I'm used to. Like when I fall, I know when I fall. This was like 10 men picked me up and just threw me to the ground. And
Oh my gosh.
I told the hospital, I told everybody that, and they looked at me like, oh, yeah, right. But I also I called the police and they came here and I told them, does anybody use or have crowd control weapons up there we have the sheriff's office 2 blocks away. One guy was really honest and he said, yeah, we have a little small group here that use them, but we all don't use them. So when I did my research, it said that this is what these weapons cause. If they're aimed at you, you're going down forcefully. And they do cause severe injury. They'll even cause death. So, of course, they're not going to say that this was what caused it or any of their guys had it. But do you have any idea what this kind of weapon could have been other than the crowd control?
I think it's a sonic weapon. If you have an Android phone, I would go to Google Play Store and get the infrasound and ultrasound app and load it into your phone and watch. You're not the only person that's reported to me being knocked down. That there was a lady that actually got to see who the people were at a Starbucks, and apparently the manager of their little group that was doing this to her was not laughing, but the lower echelon worker people were. I mean, I'm certainly not an electronics engineer, and I still frustratingly don't know enough, but I highly suspect that that's a sonic weapon.
Okay. And then also, now, again, I don't want to single out, but targeted justice is real bent on saying this is only coming, our hurt, our pain is only coming from cell phone towers. But we'll be driving on the main highways and wherever, and there'll be police behind us. And I am so tortured. Or I'll go into Sam's and I come out and there's the police vehicle. It's constant police that I get tortured. But targeted justice says no, it's cell phone towers. So is that correct?
No.
They're bent.
Bullshit.
Pardon me?
That's bullshit.
It's total imagination. That is not. And cell phone towers are the fabric of our society. That is not what it is. It is human beings using weapons, and they have phone apps. They use a device that looks like this thing on my wall, and they use an app. It is not cell phone towers. And you may notice that targeted justice has now been removed because the government is not going to tolerate the conspiracy theories that they're putting out there. They're down. Their website is gone for 4 days now.
Wow, thank
And
you.
Weebly will not put it back because they've been ordered, because she is litigating and creating frivolous lawsuits. I have never been supportive of what the propaganda that targeted justice is disseminating. It's horrible, and it makes us all look like fools. Tells us to go stand in front of FBI houses and harass the wife of a agent. That's absolutely wrong. And somebody finally noticed. Somebody in the government said, take this down. So, and by the way, they're making a lot of money racketeering and telling people that they can help us and collecting money, and they do nothing. Not one thing has happened good.
No, they declared themselves as the best website for targets in the world. And I called Richard Lighthouse and asked him to take that down. I said, we're not here in some competitive contest.
Right.
We're here to serve and to help people and do what we can to stop this program, you know? I mean, for all Derek and I have been through the years and everything, we're close friends. And even when we became Citizens Against Harmful Technology, Skizit and I, we still all work together. We even set up
Yeah,
our calls so that we didn't step on each other's calls.
right.
It's about saying you're the best.
Oh, you could say, Neil, you can say, oh, I saw this, I've seen this Ravenclaw thing over 100 times in person up front, and he gets on and makes a email blast telling everyone that the Ravenclaw is not a weapon. It absolutely is, and they scrubbed the website from Raytheon when I did my speech. They took it down because that's how they treat us. But then Richard Lighthouse comes out and spreads lies. So yeah, they're down and they spread lies. And somebody finally said they are attacking our government. And they're lying. It's just use your spirit of discernment, people. You will know. You will know.
Yeah, thank you. Because
There's an article.
I don't want to just, excuse me a minute. Hold on one second, please. I don't want to just say it's, I don't want to just say, could you please hold on one second? Because I'm not finished. I don't want to just say it's one particular group that's after me, but it appears to be when I'm in this particular group's company that I get hurt the worst. But then I'm thinking they're constantly saying these cell phone towers. So I wanted to get clarity on that. Thank you. And then also, Derek, do you remember when this is way back when, and it was when we were on your call, it was a Russian woman who was gone through training to be a perpetrator. I don't know if you remember, but it was on your call. And you showed us, I wish to God I had kept it. You showed us she was at her desk. She was going through this training and she had this box on her desk. And she was appalled that she was being trained to use this box to hurt people. Do you remember that?
Oh my God. So this
A lot of
was
years ago.
I've never heard it, but I've seen it. It is a box. It's a black
Yeah.
box.
Yeah. And Derek had it on his call and he showed us it went out onto our email. Do you remember, Derek? She was Russian.
it was on
Yeah.
email.
Pardon me?
I sent a box out on email. Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
yeah, we could see her. We could see the training class, and she must have sent it to you. I remember it so clearly. And she was appalled that she was being trained as a perpetrator to hurt people with this device. I'm talking about
narrow, like it wasn't a full, like was it more of a flatter box on a tripod, perhaps?
I don't remember the details. I just remember she
like one of the devices of American Technology down in San Diego. They had a box. One of them, it's either hypersonic sound or high intensity directional acoustics. And there's an article in the New York Times Magazine, The Sound of Things to Come. Woody Norris has reinvented acoustics from March 23rd, 2003, written by Marshall Sella, New York Times Magazine. And that shows a picture of it. If I saw it in the garage, kitty corner from my home, I thought it was a view camera on a tripod, and it had a microphone on top of it. And I thought, why does a view camera have a microphone there? Because I couldn't see the full thing. And later I read that article. I saw that article after I went to the New York Times up in LA and begged for help. And that article came out a month or two later, and then it was all about Woody Norris testing out. He's the man that discovered the ultrasound, and he had developed these acoustic weapons for the Navy. And the Navy is involved, and he was testing on the public. And additionally, I want to mention that there is a video. I went to McNeil-Lear complaining, and they came out with a video a month later on Discovery. It's called Shoot Not to Kill, Non-Lethal Weapons, Preventing Crimes, Protecting Lives, Maintaining Peace, Fighting Wars. It was from Covert Technologies Series, 1997, produced for Discovery Communications by McNeil-Lear Productions, written by Terry McDonald for McNeil Lear Productions, executive producer Susan L. Miller, Maureen Lemire. It was aired on
Tony,
Discovery.
you're kind of wandering from the topic a little
And
bit.
that video shows the sheriff, the LA sheriff, training with the Marine Corps Expeditionary Force using these non-lethal weapons, including acoustic infrasound. And at the end of the video, a guy is on the sidewalk shaking from being hit with infrasound. So you are right that the police have the technology and are training with the military in using these acoustic weapons. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay. I also wanted to mention, Barbara, since you mentioned a lady from Russia. You may not remember, but there was a lady a while back that her name was Victoria. She used to come to our call, and we'd hear from her. She would call from Moscow, and she did our call. Remember her name was
Victoria.
And she has mysteriously disappeared. We don't know what happened to her.
Gosh. Well, I wanted to know because this was when you were called Derek when we were first connected, like Gloria, Susan from way up in New York. Like the first we were there, like I'm talking about, I don't know how many years we go back, 15 years or so. And you showed us this woman was in class and she was so appalled that they were training her with this weapon. I just wondered if you remembered. Another thing I wanted to ask you guys, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm at home with you guys. Neil, Derek, oh my gosh, I could cry. My husband, we've been married for I could almost cry. We've been married for almost 25 years. He still doesn't get it. He still doesn't get it. Like I called the cops the other night about all the damage to my leg, and they're saying I'm going to be held up for 3 months. The fibula, I already told you all the breaks, and the cops came out, which I know not to do, and they've been putting the fire rescue squad, all these other, vehicles in front of my face to threaten me, to warn me, if I keep calling them, I'm going in. So, I mean, it's constant. They sit out front of my
Careful,
house.
Barb.
Pardon me?
I said, be careful.
I know the crisis prevention SUV is sitting in front of my house. All these civic patrol, they're sitting out in front of I take pictures because they said, we're not doing it. And I said, look, sir, you're on camera here. Yes, you are. And so they did up a 3-page report saying she's progressively paranoid. So I had a good cry. Should I do a rebuttal to that or should I just let it go?
What do you mean they did a report? Where did you see a report?
Well, they came to my house because I called them. And they did a 3-page police report on me saying that this possibly is weapons. So I said Havana syndrome, every other word, because I'm trying to get that out. Havana syndrome.
What did they say to that?
What is that?
I said, what did they say to that? Oh, they said, what is that?
What is that? And I said, directed energy weapons. Come on, you guys. Stop with the Rip Van Winkle. We got to be truth, speak truth to each other. Stop it. We can't get past this line. Yeah. We can't. I don't like to say, I don't like to say us and them. I want to connect with you. Please hold on 1 second. You keep interrupting. Please hold on. Please wait 1 second. I don't want to be saying, I told them, I don't want to be saying, have a distinction here between you guys. I want to connect. My husband was a police officer. So was my father. I want to connect with you guys. Well, we don't know what directed energy weapons are. And I said, yes, you do. There's a lieutenant female up there who laughed. And she said, yes, we do. We call them DEWs. And as soon as I told them that, they kind of froze. 3 of them were standing in front of me in my house. And I said, yes, you do. You call them DEWs. And I told them the name of the woman up there that works with them. So they kind of froze. And so now the police report, 3 pages, say I'm progressively paranoid. So should I come back again? Should I?
From my experience,
you're progressively on your way to the
it's
psych
going
ward,
to travel with
Barb.
you for the rest of your life.
I'm sorry, what?
You're progressively on your way to the psych ward.
Oh,
And what's
so
going to
just that
happen is
again?
nobody's going to ever believe you. Anything you say in a court of law or in a hospital or anything, they're just going to label you as mentally ill. And anything you try to describe about dues, you're going to look like a fool. So you have to fight that and get that off your record. Trust me, I've been through it. I've lived it all my life. Well, for the past 15 years.
You never hear voices. You never hear voices. You're schizophrenic if automatically.
Yeah, just be safe, Barbara. You don't want to challenge. It's a trap. And, I'll just mention on our website is a psychiatric living will. I think you get it notarized, and it's to say that you are competent and coherent and no harm to yourself or society, because they want to do the 72-hour Baker Act evaluation on you. And apparently that legally gives you ground to not allow them to do that.
Well, I told them you go that far, and I promise you, I'm naming names because I've been trafficked for 7 years, and I promise you, your buddies are going to prison. You go, that's the end of the rope there. You put me in an institute, all your buddies are going to be named. So 20 some years, they haven't pulled me in yet. Because I told
Well, Barbara, you need good shielding. You need to get away from accusations and do something to help yourself protect your body and your mind and find some. That's why Derek is sponsoring this workshop, which I thought was an amazing idea. So I hope you take a look at this, at the shielding, Barbara, because that is what you need. You're missing shielding. I can tell you right now, you could not be thrown like that if you were wearing shielding.
Well, the thing is, Barbara, they can't help you. They cannot help you. I mean, no matter how many times you call them, even if they don't throw you in ever, they can't help you. And that's really the main thing.
What do you mean they can't? You mean the authorities cannot help her?
Well, I mean, they don't have the equipment. They don't have the investigative authority to say, oh, well, this is microwave weapons. Well, there's nothing on the books that says that they can do that. So there's nothing they can do as far as I can tell.
They're going to use plausible deniability in every case that they can. So it doesn't end up being that we're whistleblowers. It ends up being invalidated and possibly entrapped. And I personally know Barbara has been through unspeakable hell, beyond being knocked down.
Yeah, I know. I've talked to her. She has. I can, but it's not. Now we've got to say we can rise above and find shielding because there is technology to help us. So it's up to you to not focus on the enemy, focus on your protection, and make that decision. Because if you're going to preach to the world about dues, they're going to put you away. They will put you away.
Okay,
thank you.
Chief
Thank you
Jones,
so much.
Chief Jones has offered, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, Chief has offered to come to like a town or wherever and train officers as to how to prosecute this type of criminal activity. However, no one has invited him, but he was willing to do that.
They're not going to invite him, but yeah,
I mean, that would be the way to go if ever we got a cooperating city. They'd have to have laws in place. They'd have to have equipment. They'd have to have training. All this stuff.
Yeah, they're not going to allow a budget for that, right? I mean, that's the problem Dave Vetch and I ran into when he went down to that Richmond, California, or wherever it was. They didn't deny what he was saying and what he showed with a spectrum analyzer, but there was no budget allowed to train them in how to use the spectrum analyzers to verify that targets were being targeted.
Well, I mean, if TIs could if TIs could organize that, they could have that on the books, and it could happen. It almost did in Tucson, Arizona, when I went to see Nathan. We went to, we visited his representative for his local council. And it was a bunch of us that sat and spoke with him about this weaponry and the attacks and the stalking and so forth. They actually did believe us. And they said, if you get the other councilmen to agree on a bill, we will sign it. But we
Wow.
couldn't get the other TIs, to work with their representatives. And if that had happened, we could have had something on the books in Tucson.
Wow.
Well, it's already illegal. This is the point that I have been making for the time that I've been a target. Everything they do is already illegal. We don't need a law. We don't need books and laws. That's psychosis. What it is everything is a weapon. You can hit someone with a baseball bat in the head and kill them, but you don't need to go and make baseball bats illegal and ban baseball. So these weapons are already a weapon that would be immediately confiscated, but they operate in darkness and secrecy.
Well, yeah, they don't carry around these microwave weapons and stand in front of a person and say, "Hey, gotcha." You know, if they did, they could be arrested. But it doesn't happen that way. They're behind walls. They're in
Hell,
all.
I have caught them red-handed, Derek. That I have. I had them in Kentucky Fried Chicken. I wouldn't let them drive out, and they were shooting me in the back. And I got out and yelled, "USOB, you leave me alone." And they were, "Oh, what's happening?" And I said, "You've got the Ravenclaw. You just shot me." And I'm calling the cops, and they go, "We aren't going to do it anymore. Please don't call the cops." The cops would not come. They would not come. And I said, "They're here with the Ravenclaw." They said, "Nah, Jax, why don't you come down to the station and give
Right.
us a speech?" That's how they treated me.
That's why you need laws on the books to say there are microwave weapons that
No,
attack people. And
yeah, it's
that's why
invisible.
you need those laws in the books.
You don't need them.
Otherwise,
Nobody even acknowledges that they
well,
exist.
if they're not acknowledged, then
Okay,
they're
I
like,
have
well,
showed,
it's your imagination.
take your phone and show them where you can turn your damn washer on from the opposite part of the world. I have that LG technology. I can turn my washer on, turn my dryer on, wash a load of clothes remotely. Now, and I say, you don't think they can turn me on and off with technology?
That's not
Yes,
convincing. That's not
that
convincing.
well it works. This is computers, and it turns things on, it turns things off. And
Wireless. Mhm.
there's an analogy. It's an analogy. They're using technology on us. It is not some alien, you
Yeah,
know.
we know that you're preaching to the choir, but what I'm saying is they have the option to ignore you.
Exactly. They're going to ignore us until
They
they have
know
until
they know the weapons. They're using them and training with them. I was referred to by the Orange County Sheriff to talk to the LA sheriffs. They came to my home back in the 90s. So they know what's going on. They're not dumb. They just don't. It's covert. It's their weapon. They don't want to acknowledge it. And there's great abuse going on. And there needs to be a federal and a state agency that's able to go in and evaluate and get it stopped. And it's already criminal. It's on the books. It's torture. It's a violation of human rights and of the Terrorist Act. And I was told that by the head of fraud, waste, and abuse of the Defense Department in the 90s. It's already illegal and criminal and etc., but nobody enforces the law. It needs to be enforceable. And because it's military weapons, the military should be allowed to do a criminal investigation for a private citizen being hit with military weapons, and they're not allowed to. So that we're stuck without really getting the help we need, because the military knows how to evaluate this, identify it, how to stop it. That's who we need supporting us, and we're not in the military. so they can't step in. But it's their weapons and their contractors that they're funding, and it's out of control.
Well,
And
yeah,
I
I mean, the
think
vast majority of us are out in the civilian, out in the civilian world. So we're going to need to have a civilian solution.
well, I think they ought to have a military ability to investigate if there's a civilian being criminally affected by military equipment. The military should be able to step in. They're not allowed to right now. That needs to change. That's what
Well, yeah. So we have a few steps before us. There's a vague possibility, and you guys are aware of this, that Trump would he has been spoken to about this issue, and from what I hear, that there are things happening to address it. So I'll keep you guys posted, but that's the best I can tell you as far as a solution.
Yeah, hearing that he wants to stop the chemtrails too. That's giant. That's against the human race.
Well, you know what he did in his first administration. I did hear that he had made them stop, and they did for about 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, this looks like a fight over organized crime networks.
Well, yeah, our government is in a state of bribery. It's only about who will offer these. Scott, there's a guy named Scott Wiener or Mark, I forgot his name. He's our state representative. He wants to get into Congress. He got a seat now, and they all get rich. They come from humble background, and then they're rich and buying mansions in Hillsborough. Are you kidding me? These are bribes from our own government. That's how they operate. All these Congress people are rich. And that's what they're doing, is investigating it. Go ahead, Derek. Sorry.
Well, yeah, that happens when you get to Congress. When I went to DC, I saw it for myself. I mean, there were groups there, the halls were crowded with groups of people vying for a legislator's attention. They get inundated with offers, with money for favors for this cause or for that cause or for this for that. It's really competitive.
Look up Randy.
Yeah, that's how they can get rich that way.
Randy Duke Cunningham. Look at Randy Duke Cunningham. He had like a list, and he would charge for contracts, $50,000 for this kind. And he had looking like a third grade made this list up. He went to prison for like 8 years. He was a congressman down in Southern California. But he got busted for doing that. But that's where they make the money on these contracts. And they're going to give them to him. Then they give them to these companies.
Look at Obama. Obama's rich as hell. He's got 3 mansions, not 1, not 2. He has 3 mansions.
And a president can make zillions of dollars because everyone is vying for, these people have money in their hand to offer these representatives. But when we get there, we have nothing. We don't have thousands of people to vote for them. We don't have zillions of dollars behind us. We don't have much to offer them. So they just kind of look at us, and that's about it. But that's the way Congress works. That's the big leagues.